Today on the patio, we're doing a delicious turkey breast. We brine this, we air dried it, we're doing it direct fire, skin on. It's gonna be delicious. Let's get into it. What's up, barbecue fans? My name is Jake, and today we're doing a delicious skin on direct fire turkey breast. And before I can bring on the star of the show, I want to talk to you a little bit about lump. Today we're using Komodo Kamado's cocoa char. It looks a little different than you're probably used to seeing. This stuff is very dense. It burns a long time and it burns hot, up to 1200 degrees. But the most important part about it is that it has no flavors. So when you're buying lump, depending on the brand you buy, you've probably noticed some of them have a little bit of that charcoal flavor, some of them are in an intense charcoal flavor. This is absolutely neutral, has no flavor, and if you want to get pure applewood, you can use this and you're only going to taste applewood. Today we're using Bear Mountain's hickory chunks, so I'm going to use this and some hickory, and that's all we're going to get is some hickory. The one thing you want to know about this stuff is that because it's so dense, it burns a very, very long time, but it's also takes a little bit more to get started. You definitely want to have yourself a Grill Blazer grill gun, 10% discount code down below. If you don't have one of these guys and you want to use a couple starters, you're probably going to use at least 2 just to get it going, and then once it's going, it burns a very long time. Let's pack this up, and while we're doing that, I'll show you how we got the Komodo Kamado fired up. So let's talk about this turkey breast. We've got to go back a couple days. First off, I got some of this Sweetwater Spice Company, this turkey bath. This stuff is a brine, and it is classic quality flavor, apple, rosemary, sage. And what you do is you add some salt to this, some water. One of these bottles, you can put half a cup of salt and a gallon of water in, and it will do a lot of meat. I did it in a brining bucket. What I did is I only used a quarter cup of salt because you're supposed to brine it an hour a pound, and I was doing it late at night and I was going to bed, and it was going to be in there a little longer than that hour a pound. I was doing a couple of these and I just used a little bit less salt, okay? Then what I did is I took it out of the brining bucket and I took some paper towel and I patted the skin dry as much as possible, flipped it over underneath, up top, and then I put it on a rack here, and it's been in my fridge now for 26 hours. So it dried out our skin a little bit. It's still a little moist, but it is pretty much dried out pretty good. I put it in the fridge that I open up a lot, and it could really dried out down there. So we're in pretty good shape. What we're gonna do here is we're going to flip this over and do it skin side down over direct fire. That's going to protect our meat, but it's also going to crisp up the skin. So let's put this on the Komodo Kamado. And just to give you an idea here, I've got the basket splitter in here. This is my cold zone. This is my hot zone. We're going to go right over top of that. I'm just going to pick this bad boy up just like so, and we'll throw it on like that. Now, as far as temperature, what we're doing is we're at 300. We're gonna be relatively low for this cook. The reason for that is I wanna give it extra time for that skin to crisp up. Worst case scenario, if our skin starts to get too dark, I've got my cold side already. I can just pick it up and turn it over and put it on the cold side if I need to. But because we're going at such a low temperature, I think we're going to be able to crisp up that skin, and we're gonna be able to take advantage of all that meat juices dripping into that lump and tasting oh so delicious. So we're gonna let this go, probably gonna go 3 hours, but I'll bring you back in a little bit. We'll have a look at seeing how we're doing, and we'll talk you through the rest of the steps. So it's been about 45 minutes. One thing I forgot to tell you, you can get this at bbq.com, use Rum and Cook 11, and you can save 11% off rub seasonings and marinades. So we've been rolling right at 300, and 45 minutes in, I just had to turn over our turkey breast. You'd be amazed at how much color we got already. I'm surprised, but let's have a look here. So it's crispy. I was gonna do this yesterday without dry brining, and then I'm like, you know what? I got time, I can dry brine. It's gonna be a beautiful day today. But with that skin dried out, it cooked super, super quick. It's gonna be crispy. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get a little color on the bottom, and then I just wanna let some of that juice drip into the lump a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is I am gonna move it over here to finish it off. Been about 20 minutes. We're gonna move our turkey breast off to the side here. We'll just slide it right on over like so. And while we're here, we're gonna take a little temp reading, 110. So we're coming along pretty good. I'm gonna let that roll at 300 until it's done. We're gonna cook this until it's 150. All right, so we have to shift and make a change here. I'll show you why. But the short version is that because we got away from the heat and started cooking from the bottom, and then we went over to the cold side, our skin is no longer crispy. So we're sitting at 140. I could flip it over and try and re-crisp up that skin. The problem is it's gonna burn even more. So let me show you, I'll bring you in, I'll show you what we're talking about here. Right, so this is looking good. The problem is this edge is quite thick and it's all gotten soft. I mean, I tasted it, a little piece of it, and it tastes delicious, but because it's gotten soft now, it's not gonna be an enjoyable bite. So decided we're gonna have to pull this off, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to have some nice crispy skin, but there's actually a fair amount of fat under here that didn't render out because it cooked a little too quick. That's not gonna be an enjoyable bite. Doesn't matter how we slice it, no pun intended. It's just not gonna be what we're looking for, right? So we're gonna pull off the skin, final edge off. Now what I could probably do is render this out a little bit over here. Since we're already not following what I originally intended, we'll see what happens. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna turn this over so I can get some color on that so it doesn't look funny when we go to slice it. Like I said, we're at 140 right now. We've got another 10 degrees to go. We'll see what happens with this skin, and I'll let you know if I can save it. I don't think so. We'll see what I can do with this. I don't have a lot of faith in this skin though. I think we're gonna have to just suck it up and lose it, but we'll see what happens. All right, so it's been 10 minutes. We'll pull this guy off. As you can see, we got a little color where that skin was protecting us. But what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna wrap this guy up. We're at 150 degrees. We're gonna wrap it tight, let it carry over, and we're gonna rest this for 30, 45 minutes. All right, so let's see how we did here. Been resting about 30 minutes. Oh man, that smells good. Move that over a little bit like so. Can't let those juices go to waste. I don't quite have the color that I wanted on the top, but let's see what we got here. Definitely moist. Like, the moisture in that is ridiculous. All right, enough drooling over my work. That's friggin' good. Holy smokes. That, my friends, is absolutely delicious. I mean, you've got the flavors from the brine, the apple, the sage, the rosemary coming through. We have a little hint of smoke, not overpowering whatsoever. There's really not that much smoke in it. And then you've got that direct fire taste where the fat's just dripping over those coals. It adds a very unique flavor into it. And this is one of the best breasts I've cooked. I was very nervous when I had to take away the skin and change things up. Didn't quite go as planned, but I'll tell you what, the flavor is out of this world. If you're looking for something different for Thanksgiving, the holidays, whatever, this is something you gotta try. Hopefully you got some value out of this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up while you're down there. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks as always for watching. I'll see you soon.